everybody. Welcome back to the Astoria Filmmakers Club podcast, also known as the AFC podcast, or for the ones who are actually inside the AFC podcast. Welcome back. For our next guest is actually Devon Squillace.
Hey,
What's going on, man?
how's it going?
So it is like Squalise or Squillace, but Squillace.
Yeah, it's Squillace. The Italians, call it Squillace, but when they came over here, they, Americanized it and Squillace.
Where's your family name really from?
Well, I actually it's my father's last name. He adopted me when I was a child. He married my mother. I had my mom's maiden name. And then for a while, I actually had two last names throughout high school. Actually, it was middle school. And I was always asking, why do I have two last names? And my dad was just like, it's because technically you're not my child, but you are, but I have to adopt you. And I was like, all right, well, what's going on? Adopt me. And he's like, all right. He did the paperwork and everything. And I took his last name. So
seen a lot of TikTok videos where kids were getting adopted for the first time and then they're hysterical crying afterwards.
Yeah. It was definitely a big moment in my life because I was always getting made fun of because I had two last names. And you know how kids are, they're young, they're always on you, why do you have last names? And on my eyebrow, I have a birthmark on my eyebrow. So everyone was just like, oh, what is that? They would just make fun of my birthmark and my last name. So it was either one I had to get fixed, and the birthmark is always there. So
school sucks and kids suck.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened with all of us on our journey. And that's probably what made us become actors, because we were always pretending like things didn't bother us. And then we were still able to function somehow.
Yeah. The older I've gotten, the more I'm able to understand my emotions and be able to cry, as a young, kid, I was always against crying because, it's manly, you know what I mean? But no.
One less thing to have all these kids use against you, huh?
Exactly.
So what do you do for work now?
So my life is pretty interesting. I'm actually a certified chef.
What?
But at the moment I am working as a maintenance engineer at a hotel/restaurant. I was working at the restaurant, but I just didn't feel like I was being fully utilized there. And I had asked for a few raises and, I love them. They're great, but I needed to move on to bigger and better things. And engineering was, someone was leaving. So I made friends with that person and they put a good word in and I got the job. And I've been doing this type of work all my life as well. So it was just it was easy. So
you're very handy, or did you have a background in that?
I've done security. I've done sales. This is why I became an actor, because I do a lot of things. I could do a lot of things. I'm very good at learning things. So when it comes to acting, I love being able to, embody this character and really just understand what's going on in the script. And I don't know, I really enjoy it actually. So.
Well, where'd you grow up?
I grew up Florida, New York, a little town.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yeah.
No, dude, I grew up in Goshen, New York.
I lived in Goshen, New York. I lived on Pulaski Highway.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I'm on the other side of Goshen, on the corner of Sarah Wells Trail, where I grew up.
Okay. Yeah. I got my job in Goshen, so I know.
Yeah,
I know.
Me too.
That's funny.
Right, yeah, dude, small world. So where you based out of nowadays? Where you living?
I'm in Philadelphia right now. I moved here 3 years ago, around the pandemic time. I moved here with my ex-girlfriend, matter of fact, ex-fiance. But we broke up and she went back to New York, and I was planning to go back to New York, but the way things were just coming together, like so many good things was happening to me. I was like, you know what? Why leave? You know,
Yeah.
like I started getting into modeling, and I got into a few fashion shows, and ever since then, I just, it's just been skyrocketing. Like I've been like 3 or 4 fashion shows this year so far. Last year I did like 6, and it was just like, it's a blessing that like I stayed, to be honest. And then my acting career has been doing well. I actually just got booked twice this weekend by 2 different hiring agencies, and I made a mistake because they both start with an H. So I was like, wait, you have me here Saturday, but you want me here Monday too? And then I had to go back into my emails. I was like, oh my God, it's 2 different casting networks. I was like, okay. Because they both start with H. So I was like, I didn't really fully read it. So I was like, why did they have me doing 2 different things when
Yeah.
I was like, oh, wait, it's 2 different ones. So I was like, all right, cool. And I had to apologize to them because like I had emailed them and I was just like, I'm so confused. And then I sent them the text message and then it said the name. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like,
Whoops.
and they're like, honestly, it's okay. That means you're very popular. I was like, thank you. Like,
So was that the first time it's happened to you?
yeah, it's the first time it happened to me.
That's not a bad problem to have, man.
No, and it's actually, I'm kind of in a pickle because I got booked for a short film, and it's tomorrow, and I'm playing a Jedi in a Star Wars student film. But then I got booked by this casting network, and I'm getting paid, and it's SAG eligible. So it's like,
You got to make the move.
have to make the move, and I feel so bad because like I really have been studying. I watched like every single Star Wars movie, even the cartoons. I've been reading my script every day. I've been like, just been like fully in it. And then I got these messages yesterday, and I was just like, it's like, what a conundrum. Like I just
So literally, it's like there's an eclipse and the tide is turning, and it's like, what do you get? What?
Dude.
Were they willing to work with you a little bit? Say, look, I'll show you this. We might have to reschedule because reshoots happen all the time, dude. And if it's a student film, you can still get it done.
I mean, I'm not getting paid either. So like, but like, just the fact that like I have lines, you know what I mean? And like I have like a very important, like I'm in like 3 scenes, and I'm actually like, I have a lot of lines, and this would be my first time actually, well, second, but this would be like I'm like embodying this character. So like I was really excited for it, but like then I got booked for this, and like it's only a background role, but like I'm getting paid, and it's here in Philly.
Yeah.
The other one's in New Jersey, and I have to rent a car to get there in New Jersey. So it's like,
it's not that much of a decision to make,
no, I just feel bad. I'm like, yeah,
you always got to do the right thing, but you can't put yourself in a compromised situation.
yeah. So I don't know how people do it. Like, I mean, I don't know what to do. I feel like I wish I could be in 2 places at once, like.
Of course. Yeah.
But yeah.
So is that with what? Diane Heary casting?
Yes, actually hearing casting, and what was the other one? I think it's Lotus or Heary Lotus.
Heary. Oh, so you got Diane Heary and Heary Lotus.
Yeah, but 2 like both start with an H.
Right.
So like I just like, I thought it was like, so it had me confused. But I mean, I'm always like sending my applications out. So sometimes I guess I just got really bundled up with these 2. But it's honestly a blessing. I'm like, I guess I should be happy that this is happening. Like,
oh yeah, you look happy to me, and I think people could hear it in your voice.
Oh yeah, totally. This is it's been a roller coaster, and I'm ready. I'm strapped in and I'm ready.
So where is this like sort of on like the experience belt? Like how many projects you think you've done before this?
So I've been in one, two, three. I've been in two. I've been in one film as a security guard years ago. I didn't have any lines, and it was like my first gig. I didn't even get paid for it. That was the crazy thing. It was in like Brooklyn, and at the time I was working as a security guard, and my boss was like, "Oh, I have a best friend that's a director, and he needs security guards." So he put in a group chat, and nobody was biting at it. And I was like, "Yeah, I'll do it." And one other dude was like, "Yeah." So we both went, and we sat there for like 8 hours, and didn't get utilized until the last hour. It was like ridiculous. And you know, I did what they need to do. I guess I had to like walk one of the main characters off because he was getting mad that because it's a boxing movie, and the guy who was boxing was his best friend, and he was rooting him on, and the guy next to him was like, "Oh no, he sucks." So he had to turn around and be like, "What?" And then had like an altercation with him, and then I had to like take him away and walk him away. And I never got paid for that gig. And then like years later, I met my ex-girlfriend who is an actor, and she really got me, really wanting to get back into that life because, I would watch and see what she was doing, and I was just like, oh man, I missed that, And then we both got booked. She was like, "You don't mind us being like a couple in a film, right?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." So we got booked for two films. One's called Past Lives. It's coming out soon, actually. And the other one, what is it called? I don't remember the name right now, but yeah, we were both background couples in it. And then once we broke up, I started, really putting myself out there on backstage. And the first week I put it out there, I got a bite. And it was for a short film called Black Phobia. And that's coming out next month. And I was a day player, and I really got close with the director, and he had asked me, because there was two dogs that needed to be for the film. And he had asked me, since he knows I'm a dog trainer, he was like, "Hey, like, would you be able to get dogs so we can use for the film?" I was like, "Yeah, I can do that." So I got two dogs for the film, and, we did my scene, and it went great. And then the next day, we were filming again, and he gave me like three more parts in it. And like, I even did like a chanting in it. So like, that really had me like, after we were done with that, I was like, you know what, I really like acting. This is what I really want to be doing. Like right now, my full-time job is great and everything, but like, I would love to be able to just live off of my acting career or my modeling. Either one is good for me. But so, yeah, I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 films. And I was recently in a music video. His name is Armani White. He did this song, the Billie Eilish song. It's like all over TikTok.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, if you put it on and look at it, it'll. His new song is called "Goated." I was in that music video. That was cool. It's like Click Top Billie Eilish or something like that.
Billie Eilish, Billy Graham, Billy Mandy, Billy Carson, Billie Eilish. Where are you? Billie Eilish, Jai Gilly.
His name is Armani White. If you look up Armani White, one of his songs is Billie Eilish, Goated, and he just came out with a new song called Silvertooth. I think it's called Silvertooth, yeah.
Oh, damn. He's actually very well established.
Yeah, he's very well established. And he's actually from Philadelphia too, which is pretty cool that I got to,
Oh, he's got a similar. I hate to say it, but he looks a little. He kind of reminds me of Flava Flav.
Yeah, he does, right?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, he was cool to meet in person. He was a good dude.
Billie Eilish. Oh. Actually, yeah. So you got to be in that music video with this guy?
Yeah, and he showed us how to dance and everything. Like it's pretty funny. It was cool.
Yeah, no, I mean that's a great song. I just never connected the two dots because I've heard this many times.
Yeah, and nobody really knows until they really like look at it and they're like, oh wow, it's like this guy's actually like, he's up and coming right now, and I'm just like, I got so lucky to be in this music video, and like I want more of that. I want to be in music videos. I want to, I would love to, book a lead role, like a paid lead role.
Oh yeah, yeah, me too, pal. Join the club.
Yeah, but you just put yourself out there and you just keep doing it, and hopefully, you get a bite.
I think you can't. It'll never happen on the couch. You got to really put yourself out there. And there's one thing that I've actually, I never want to give anybody feedback or like advice that I haven't personally taken myself. I just know like a lot of people take themselves out of the game because they'll say no to something because they're not getting paid to do it. And they probably would that day just either stick with their full-time gig or literally just hang out on the couch,
Yep.
I'm not against hanging out on the couch. I'm guilty of it every single day, I like, but especially especially for me, especially doing it for the first time, early days, I said yes to everything. You can't afford not to have some of that experience. You can't really put money to it, because you could make $300 working for Instacart if you're money driven,
Exactly.
There's a level of experience where you literally have to get those sparring opportunities, I like to say, where you're in front of the camera, you're actually feeling the cold, whether you're inside, outside. All of these factors and elements really come into place where literally you got to be in tuned with everything around you, regardless. Like the payoff is not in the dollar. It never will be either.
Yeah. It's definitely about the experience and just the amount of work you put in. And, they say you need to do something, 10,000 times to perfect it or something like
10,000 hours.
10,000 hours. Yeah. So
I mean, when you think about that, you've done something a million times if you're doing multiple times an hour.
Exactly. So,
but there's a lot of downtime. There's a lot of things you could be doing when you're not on set. There's certain ways. You ever catch yourself accidentally talking to yourself and having a mysterious conversation with no one?
Oh yeah.
I thought I was the craziest person on the planet for doing this, but honestly, and then I would write it down saying I would, that was actually a really cool scene. And I remember writing only one of those things down and I ended up contributing it to my book. But other than that, I just kind of like word vomit once in a while.
Yeah. You wrote a book?
I did. Oh God. Yeah. No. Yeah. I wrote a book called There Goes the Neighborhood back in 2012.
Oh, wow.
Very cool. I burnt it. It was more of a therapy piece where, I didn't want to, I just had to get it out of my system. But since I started the AFC, I actually found the book cover and I kind of wish I didn't burn the manuscript. I kept all the notes and the drafts and things like that, but it wasn't it wasn't like a decent what it was. And it was nice. It was just a good, lovely story, but I could always rebuild it. It would just be that type of piece, honestly, because of, at the time had to get it out of my system. Thinking back on it, it would be a very nice TV series for college, kids in college, because high school, you get past the drama and maybe you start taking things a little bit more seriously. And when I was in acting school, it felt like a day on set every single day. It felt like a TV show every single day. And that was the best part about going to school.
Oh yeah. I definitely. That's awesome, man. I just finished writing a book myself. It's nice. But I had hired a ghostwriting team, but I mean, still, I had to create, the image for them to write it.
Right. No, there's no other. You got to do that in the creative arts here in filmmaking at the same time. You were more like the creative director of the book.
Yeah.
This is like your Spielberg piece. You still need a team.
Yep. Yep.
It's not a one-man show, especially writing. Sometimes you collaborate and you discover new things.
Yeah. Yeah. It's called The Cycles of Redemption.
What's it about?
It's about, so a little sidebar. This was like kind of my motivation to writing this book. On June 24th, 2017, I had an accident where I fell through a roof and I had broke my back and I fractured my left knee, and I was diagnosed as a paraplegic. And I was told I would never be able to walk again.
You were in Fighter Smart, weren't you?
Yeah.
I know exactly who you are now.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, please, no, continue telling your story. I know the movers. They showed me the story. They told me all about Fighter's Heart. They asked us to help out. You were the guy that fell through the roof.
Yeah.
Through the glass, and it was just a freak accident down an elevator shaft, was it?
Yep, an abandoned elevator shaft.
Keep going, dude. Tell your story, please. Sorry to interfere. Right. I had no idea it was you. What a coincidence, man.
Whole world, okay.
Go ahead, bro, please.
So it was June 24th, 2017, and I went to a rooftop party in Brooklyn, New York, and I pretty much, I got there and had a bad feeling. The moment I got on the roof, I looked on the edge. I was like, ooh, someone could fall. Like, this is not safe at all. Like, little do you know, later that night, I made friends with these group of women with my coworker, and we wanted to get to the other side of the roof. And there was a lot of people on that roof. It was 100 to 200 people. It was almost like two buildings. It was like one building, but it was two roofs. So, the amount of people on there was crazy. So we, we had to figure out how to get to the other side of the roof. So we going through the crowd, and there was this platform where we thought it was just just a square platform. And it was pretty high, and we were going to climb over it to get past everybody. And the girl was actually going to go first. And I was like, no, I got this. I'll be a gentleman. So I stood up and I got on it, and, I went and grabbed her hands, and I went to pull her up, and I stepped back, didn't realize there was glass underneath me, and it shattered, and I fell through, and she fell on the roof, and I fell through, and it happened so fast. But I remember putting my arms out to try to grab something. And that might have really helped me, but I went down so quick, and I woke up maybe not even a second after it happened, and I'm just and people, my friends yelling down at me, asking me if I'm all right. And I was just yeah, just get me out of here. And at that point, I couldn't feel anything. It was just no pain, but I just literally couldn't feel anything. And it was just, and I just felt blood dripping down my face, and it felt forever for the fire department to get me out. But they got me out, and, long story short, I went to the hospital. I got, surgery, and I shattered my lower L2, and, I have screws and bolts in my back. And the doctor comes up to me, and he's like, Devon, surgery was success, but there's screws that are maybe this close to your spine. You're paraplegic, and I don't know if you'll ever be able to walk again. And I looked at him and I laughed. I was like, I have to walk. I don't know I have to walk. And he's like, that. I'm like, what do I do? And he's like, it's all in God's hands. Honestly, it's the amount of work you put in. He's like, and then that was it. And I honestly never even saw the doctor ever again. And I went through intensive therapy there. I had to fight to get to a rehabilitation center because they wanted to send me home from the hospital. And I really had to fight because I was in a wheelchair at that time, like a dinosaur wheelchair. And like, they wanted to send me home. And I was like, no, I'm not able to walk yet. Like, I need to, I need to stay in physical therapy. So, I had a friend of mine who was from Spain, and she was really there for me. And her name was Maria, or not was, her name is Maria. And she helped me out, and she talked to like the head guy who's Spanish, and I got transferred to a Helen Hayes hospital in Rockland County. And from there, I went through intensive water therapy, zero gravity therapy, and when I left there, I was still like in and out of my wheelchair, but like I was able to get up. I was in a wheelchair that was accessible. So, and then from there, I went home and I just kept putting the work in. I kept going. I actually worked at the time, even though I was on disability. Like, I'm the type of person that like, I can't stop moving, even if I'm like paralyzed. Like, I worked in a state licensing company in my wheelchair, and I would go to work, and like I was in the mailroom, and I would, I'd roll up to my table, and I had my desk, and I had this table that like pulled up. So like when I wanted to stand up, I would like have it up, and I would like get up, and I would hold myself up, standing up, and I would try to work as long as I can, and I would sit back down. I would just do that all day. And then afterwards, I would go to the gym. I would work out, do as much as I can. I would do my stretches. I would be in there for hours. Like, time was just irrelevant to me because, I had one thing on my mind, I need to walk. And then, it went through like steps. Like, one moment I felt a difference, and I was like, oh, I can actually feel this now. And then like the day I started walking out of my braces, my feet were hurting when I put my braces on, and I put them in my shoes, and my feet were just like excruciating pain. I'm like, I guess I should just take them out. And I took them out, and I started walking. And then from there, it's just been like, it's just been, my life has, I would say, like, transformed. I would say this accident gave me like, I honestly think I should be dead for sure. It changed my life. First off, like, the hospital I was at, I was actually born in. So that was the second time I was ever in that hospital. First time was when I was born, and then had my accident. So I would say I was like reborn practically, because like, I had to restart my life. At that time, I was in the union in New York City, building on high risers. I was an apprentice. Like, I had a 401k. I was, living in Brooklyn. I had a lot going. And then like I had my accident, and then like my teachers were on my side from the apprentice, ship. And they even came to my house in Goshen, and they built my ramp to get into my house. And they were like, Devon, if you, when you get back on your feet, if you want to come back to the union, you're more than welcome. I said, thank you, and I thought about it the whole time, but, I didn't do it because I was a laborer, and like, there's a lot of heavy lifting, and like, I just knew that I would not be able to do what I was able to do at that time.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Like, I went from, and I even worked at Carnegie Hall. Like, I was a security guard there, and I had my braces on. And the crazy story of how I got that job is like, I was literally walking in New York City with my braces on, and this guy comes up to me, and he's like, hey, like, what are those braces? And I was like, what do they do? He's like, I don't mean to be like rude or anything. And he's like, oh, my son has this disease, and I was thinking of getting something similar to that. And I was like, all right, yeah. So I gave him the information. I told him about it. And then he was like, oh, are you working at the time? I'm like, well, I'm on disability, and I'm kind of thinking of going and get my security license back. And he's like, oh, well, I own a security company. And he's like,
What? No
yeah.
shit. Wow.
And he's like, it's the security company for Carnegie Hall. And he's like, would you like a job? And I was like, yeah. So a week later, I got the job. And from there, just, went from security, doing that. And I worked at a hospital in Brooklyn as a supervisor security guard. And that was an interesting job. So like from the moment I started walking, like I literally went from doing construction to like everything else now. Like I went from sales to, security to cooking, getting back into the kitchen. And now, back into my acting career with my modeling and my engineering job and dog training. I'm just a man of many talents now.
Many hats.
Many hats.
Jeez. So
Yeah.
you ever, first of all, God bless you for surviving, bro. I mean, yes, you're not done yet,
No, this is just the beginning.
This is just the beginning. Shout out to Maria, wherever you are. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, you helped change this man's life. Did that girl who actually you were trying to give the boost up, did she ever follow up and see if you were okay?
No, I don't even know who she is. And maybe one day, like, I'll run into her, but I don't even know who she is. I don't know her name. Like, I just remember clearly being like, oh, no, I'll be a gentleman. I grabbed her hands, and then that was the last time I saw her.
It's like, that was it. It was like hitting the pendulum. You just went straight down.
Yeah. So my book is based off of my experiences in my life up to my accident.
What about the aftermath? Like, so it wasn't just about, was that more of like a significant, like, point of the book where it's actually you're like preparing for adversity and now you have to actually overcome it?
Yeah. Well, the whole book is mostly about that. Like the main character is going through these transformations. It's a science fiction autobiography. And
you put your experience to get it out of your system into a novel form?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's exactly what I did with There Goes the Neighborhood. Yeah.
So pretty much this character, he I don't want to give out too much, but he like finds this train and it like subconsciously it might be real or it may not be real, but to him it's real. And it is it's like almost like a time machine where he goes in it, turns it on, and then he ends up embodying somebody. Like he just wakes up and he's in somebody's body inside their brain. And it's almost like the movie Get Out. Remember the part where like he's in the woman's like he's in the mind and like he's like, yeah, she's like hypnotized. Well, it's similar to that, but like he's in their mind while they're there. So he needs to redeem that character while redeeming himself in that reality. And then throughout the book, he goes through these adventures of, embodying these different characters and dealing with what they were dealing with at that time. And then having to figure out what to do, like to redeem them while redeeming himself. So he's trying to like have this relationship with these characters, trying to figure out who these characters are while trying to figure out who he is. And that's like, and then like in one chapter, I put in my accident, and it's like, it's a big, in that chapter, he like really finds out who he is. He like falls in love. And it's almost like, it's like a happy story, but at the end, I'm not going to give out the ending, but like, it's a happy, sad story. So
was there a relationship between like the title and the story where would you mind sharing on what the cycle is? Is it like a generational thing of family or one thing after another?
Well, it's every character has something similar from what the other character has. So even though it's a different character, a different person, it is just like they all have something connected. And the fact that he has to redeem them while redeeming himself gives him like how would I explain it? Pretty much he's just like, he needs to understand, like, in that reality, like he needs to be that person, but at the same time, he needs to be himself to understand who that person is. And his family and friends are, you know, he's a completely different person in his world than when he is in these different worlds. And it's just a lot, honestly. Yeah. Book is good. I mean, like, I put a lot of sweat and tears into this book, and I mean, I just hope it's good.
Have you released it yet?
No, I recently just finished it, maybe like 2 weeks ago.
So you got to workshop it a little bit, or just like have it be read out loud?
Website, finishing off the website, and then that's pretty much it. And then like it's gonna be it's gonna be paperback, and it's gonna be audio. I'm thinking of getting physical books, but I want to see how it is at first, and then I'll try doing that.
Alrighty. So what about Audible? You ever think about, like, you know, just reading it yourself?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So like, what type of work, as far as, well, I don't want to move on that quick. I feel like I'm on autopilot with podcasting, because like, I can't believe I'm about to just like throw out the window saying, oh yeah, like the movers contacted me because you were in Fighter's Heart, and I had no idea. Like, I know the story, but I didn't connect the dot. And I've known the movers since like around that time, 2017, 18. And they did StatFest recently, so I got to be a part of that. One girl, Kathy, she's with Maddie, or Katie, I think her full name is. That's one of her names. She's one of our readers in our AFC writers room. So we're going to be working together soon. And how did they reach out to you? How'd they hear about your story?
Well, I just knew them from a friend. And I don't know if you know his name. His name is Joey Torrey. He's from Long Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met them through him, and then they just hit me up one day and was just like, hey, we're doing this project. And I was like, I would love to do this. Right. So I came down from Philly, and, you know, we did it, and it's been, you know, I'm really happy that I'm part of this, you know. I really think
a lot of people, man. Like, so like, how's running? How's working out? Like, you able to move?
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that like I really have like that's hindering me is like my toes on my left foot. I can't really move on my 3 little toes, but I ride my bike every day. I ride about maybe 20 to 30 miles a week.
Good.
So, you know, I work out. I don't work out as much as I used to, only because I'm not trying to get too big, you know, especially since I have screws in my back. I'm like, I just want to be toned. I want to be, you know, strong. But, and like, I don't know, in the modeling world, they're very intense. They're like, oh, we don't want you to be too big. We don't want you to be too small. Like, I'm just like, all right, like, I don't want to be busting out of shirts, but like, I want to look tight, but I don't want to be too tight, you know, like, but yeah, I run maybe like 3 or 4 times a week. I go to the gym once or twice a week, but I ride my bike to work. I work about 15 minutes away. So it's great. Like, I ride there and back. Most of everything in Philly is like, you know, bike. I can ride my bike to it, and which is great because like it just gives me a reason to do some cardio.
Good. So you feel healthy, you feel strong, like thank God.
Very healthy, very strong. I'm still working on like my body. You know, I lost a lot of muscle atrophy on my left leg.
Sure.
Because like, you know, not moving it for so long, I lost like my calf muscle, but like it's coming back. For the longest while, I had like a little hump, a little bump, but now it's like, you know, it's starting to look like a calf, you know. Yeah. But I definitely know I won't be able to be do as much as I used to when I was younger. Cause like I used to, I played soccer, I played rugby. I used to be really fast. Like I'm decently like my speed, I don't have my speed back, but like I could run, I like sprinting is not like what it used to be, but I'm just happy that I'm able to do what I'm able to do now,
Yeah. Live.
Yeah.
That's incredible, man. I this is such a coincidence, and I'm a little not starstruck, but I'm a little taken aback.
I'm a little taken back too that you actually know them, and it's like, wow, you already knew Fighter Heart, which is great because
yeah, dude, they reached out to the AFC a while ago. They wanted help like finding more talent, like providing with like grants to help like put it together, and they do such a phenomenal job. All those guys. They're passionate, they love what they do, and they execute so well as a group and a team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're gonna go places for real.
Stick together. You got to stick together.
Yeah.
Welcome to Happy Corner. This project strives to make safe housing areas for stray cats at an affordable price. It's so easy to put together that even your children could have fun making one. Help keep cats and other animals safe with their own little Happy Corner homes. You can help this project become a reality by donating to the GoFundMe page. Happy Corner homes are a great way to show those animals in need it's okay to be happy.
So moving forward, like what's the next step? Like let's just say Black Phobia does well. What's the next step? Like, is it going to go through the film circuit, or is it going to lead to more opportunities for you?
I would hope it leads me to more opportunities. The director told me that it's going to be going to the Philadelphia Film Festival, and from there, like, he's going to let us know when like screening is, and we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm very passionate. I'm a very passionate person, and I'm very reliable. And I just know that like something's gonna bite, and like I think my acting career is just gonna go through the roof. And you start as background, but one of these days I'm gonna get something, and I'm gonna be like, residual income. That's the goal. Like it's not about the money, because like I know I can make money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just love the experiences. I just love, I just want people to be like, wow, you did that?
Dude, you survived a fall through an abandoned elevator shaft.
Well,
don't be that guy for a minute, honestly, don't put that on your resume. How I got into acting. So it all started when I fell down an abandoned elevator shaft on a rooftop party in Brooklyn.
All right. Yeah. That's on my resume from a modeling. That's why I started modeling, is like, I would love to create a community where it's not only about height, you know what I mean? It's not only, I want to have a fashion show where we could have disabled people, or we could go to the school, like go to the hospitals and be like, hey, we're having a fashion show. We'd love to have like, the nurses and, the patients come out, and like, we can dress them up, and like, depending on, if they can come out of the hospital, but like, I would love to be able to like get into that type of like work, and like just really start like helping the community, helping like, people who have been through things that I've been through and are going through things I've been through. Because when I was in the hospital, I knew a few people that, were like in a position where like it was either they, if they didn't put the work in, they wouldn't be able to walk or do anything. I don't know now if they are walking or not, and I hope they are. But like, it's really, it's a hit or miss. It's like these type of accidents. It's like, it's really about a work you put in, and if your body jumps back, and I just got lucky that like at the moment, not lucky, blessed, at the moment that happened, I was at the strongest I was ever, in my life been. Like I was working out. I was like, construction was really like, I was putting in the work, and I was very strong at that moment. And I can say I'm strong now, but like that day, like, like even in the hospital, I would work out. Like since I couldn't do anything, get out of bed or anything, they put like a jungle gym on my bed, and I would just do like pull-ups. And I would just do that until like I was able to like get out of the bed. And then that's when I started, really working on my arms, still working on my core. Because, it's not just the legs, it's about the core as well. So,
yeah. Because I know what it feels like to have an injury to your lower back. I've been struggling for 3 years with my own injury. So it's a lot of work.
It is.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to actually ask, like, did you mention before you were born in Brooklyn?
Yeah, I was born in Kings County Hospital.
I grew, like, I was also born in Brooklyn, and
Okay.
right in that area too, in Canarsie, not far off Kings Plaza. Yeah, it was like right in that neighborhood. That's weird, dude. Because I was also an iron worker, working on skyscrapers in my younger days, like in the union for New York City skyscraping, commuting from Goshen, going back down there.
Dude, I was doing the same thing for a while until I moved into. It was rough.
I had to stop because I got one or two injuries that just piled up to the point where it's like I'm compromised, and then acting, filmmaking, all that stuff kind of, just I'm going to say seduce me at the same time. It made me want to pursue this a little bit better, not just develop a career doing that. I've had my moments, as like I could have retired at 39 years old,
Yeah.
It's like, why the fuck didn't I do that? Because I'm doing what I love. That's why. So I got to say, like, I wanted to say before, we have a film festival too called the Triborough Film Festival. And we set it this year in Astoria, Queens. We'll probably come back to Queens in 2024. But it's exclusive for New York City filmmakers. So you have to actually have somebody in your cast or crew who's either born, raised, or lives in New York, or the movie itself has to actually have been set in New York. Since you're born in Brooklyn, dude, you could actually be that like little bridge to actually get that film in the festival here.
Really?
Facts, dude. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I will talk to the director and tell him that.
Yo, all right. Bring him on the podcast. Love to meet him too.
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely. His name is David Jones.
Davy Jones, where are you?
He's here in Philly.
I only been to Philly a couple times, but I did have the opportunity to work with basically Diane Harry casting because they were doing Creed 1 in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to jump in on that. That was a treat. And I kept in with every single person, like my little clique, my lunch table. We all got along, and we're still friends to this day. Shout out to Rob. And he's actually a nurse there in Philadelphia. Deanna, she just had a baby.
Okay.
God bless them all. Ryan is still out there. I think Jennifer, she just got married. They're all doing their awesome thing. Shout out Philly.
Shout out to Philly.
But you had written before. I was curious. So, like, why'd you pick Logan as your favorite feature film?
Ah, man, I can tell you that every time I see that movie, even though I know what's gonna happen, I still cry. I still cry when he died.
So like the tombstone, like how they shifted over it into the.
It gets me every time. I can sit there and watch it, and knowing what's gonna happen, I'm still like, oh man, Logan. I just think it was a great movie they put together, and his like development. I mean, he's got more. He's coming out with Deadpool 3, and apparently his whole character is different, which I'm so excited.
How do you think? Like, what do you mean different?
Well, I would say it would probably be more similar to the comics, because like in the comics, Wolverine's actually supposed to be short. He's supposed to be like 5'2", 5'3", apparently. He's like short. But but he's more of a hothead in the comics, and more of like just very like I don't know. In the movies, I would say he was a hothead, but there was moments where like Wolverine was like soft and very like, he was very like
Human.
yeah. But like, I feel like they're just gonna go really in on the comic part of who Wolverine is, and I'm just excited. I mean, Logan it's the top one movie. Like, I even bought it. Like, I don't really buy DVDs. No one buys DVDs anymore. I bought that. I bought it on my PS4. Like, I don't buy movies. I mean, it's the only one movie I bought ever, honestly, to be honest. Like, so, yeah.
I recently was at Walmart getting Snow, my puppy, some just something, and I wanted to get her some good treats, and of course I happened to see the DVDs. I'm like, oh, so I saw The Whale right there for $12 and they just won the Oscar. I'm like,
okay.
So I grabbed that real quick and I watched it. My mother cried her ass off. I haven't seen my mom like bawl cry her eyes out in the longest time. She's sensitive, but I hadn't seen her cry in years.
Yeah.
Not like that. Like, she was just crying. And it was, did you watch that movie?
No, I'm
now
that you're telling me, I might check it out.
It's free at the library, dude. Utilize your free library card. If people listening to this, if you cannot find a movie, I cannot express it enough. Go to your local library, dude. They have, that's why it's there. Get up and go.
Yep. And if you need something printed, it's free. The library.
Fact. Except my spot, it's 10 cents a page.
Yeah.
15 for a double side.
It's still not bad. I mean,
Now you got to support local.
You do.
Not that our taxes don't support it, but that's another conversation.
Oh, that's a big other conversation.
Do you find it hard and challenging to like really survive and just make ends meet,
Recently, not necessarily. I've been very fortunate to have a job, a full-time job. And I definitely been in that position though. And I know how it feels to not be able to pay my phone bill, not be able to, pay for like food. You know what I mean? Like right now I'm doing pretty good. I have my own apartment. I have a full-time job. I can buy groceries. I mean, I'm just like, it's really, I'm very blessed. And I hope that people get to be in my position and are not, having a hard time paying to get food, you know what I mean? Or pay to, rent. I mean, rent's not cheap anymore, and luckily in Philadelphia, the prices here are a lot cheaper than New York City. That's for sure. I mean, I pay like the amount I pay here in New York City, you get like a little box, like you know what I mean. I had a 2-bedroom apartment here. I was paying what, $1,300, and I had a backyard.
Oh yeah, we were paying $1,700 in Astoria for a 2-bedroom, and it wasn't the nicest of apartments either.
Exactly. So
it would probably be worth it, especially like it's only a 2-hour commute. Live in Philadelphia, come to New York City if and when you get an audition, or just self-tape.
Yeah, exactly.
That seems like it's a hot spot too. There's nothing wrong with Philly. It's its own city. The industry is there as well.
Really hot spot, like in a good way and bad way. Like a lot of, there's a lot of crime here, but then there's a lot of like artistic, creative people here. Like
that city has done the best job probably in the country, really, to preserve, sort of like national landmarks and history.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't think there's a better city that's done it, like, other than Philadelphia. They did a wonderful job.
Yeah. It's why I love living here. And, I think it was top list of the, dangerous cities. But I mean,
Yeah, but it's like, where's there not danger? I mean, like what you described, like describe danger to me. Like everybody assumes the risk by walking outside. You fell through a fucking like, an elevator shaft, like danger. So like, honestly, I think I got to call bullshit across the board. All the statistics are, I'm calling bullshit. Like there's probably like people being wrongfully convicted or crime where things are kind of like contributing to, oh yeah, like what's a good example, like here with our industry, like the highest grossing film of all time, like maybe, I don't know, it was Titanic for a while, and now it was probably Avatar, something like that. It was like Black Panther made a lot of money. Like, okay, the highest grossing film of all time, but how much is a film ticket then compared to now? And does that have, so like, you're not exactly like saying how many people went to see the movie. You're shining a light on something that does not exist, and the real reason on why you did it to begin with. Why would we care?
Mm-hmm.
And you're not knocking Black Panther or any other movie out there for grossing and making some money. You want to make some cool shit and be able to do it again. But is that real? Is that why you do this?
Yeah. It's like, why do you do this?
I don't know. To me, it feels like just one big distraction. And that's why I just call bullshit. Like once upon a time, like one of the highest grossing movies of all time, I think, was Ben-Hur. And like they still hold a record to this day where they have over like 5,000, or I think it's a ridiculous number. It's either 5,000 or 10,000 background actors in one scene. And it was literally, dude, it was during the chariot races of the circus in Ben-Hur, the original with Charlton Heston. And I still have the audiobook. I still have to listen to it, but that's another time. But they actually still had a record for one time. But I think back then it was literally 65 cents to go and see a movie.
Wow. Yeah.
Can you imagine that? And like they're still making, 65 cents, and they're still making like money. So so put it this way: you have legitimately hundreds of millions of people watching that movie. Like we can't say that today.
Nope.
No, it's not like it's not even in the same league. But we're gonna say the highest grossing. No, that's
hard. No, BS. No. I call that too.
And even so, it's just like what difference does it make? Like we don't know those people personally. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's a waste of breath, and I think it actually takes away from the movie by saying things like that.
Yeah.
It's not a turn on to contribute to the highest grossing. Like even like when you hear critics critically acclaimed, I'm not going to knock a critic. I just I don't see the value in somebody's feedback that's unsolicited, and B, not a part of the project, and overall maybe not an actor or a filmmaker themselves. So like that's my parents are more of a critic because they have nothing to do with any of the above. And I'll still listen to them. And yes, I'd like to know if they liked it or not, but I don't care about the neighbor across the street or like 50 miles away. Unless it's like, I don't know, so like another actor in the movie that said like, I really wish I saw you do this at this moment. Like, give me some real feedback to be better. I'm not interested in your opinion. Like,
Yeah.
No offense, but that like, dude, I'm jaded. Forgive me. Like I got issues. As soon as you turn 35 and you have a regret saying, where did I go with my life? It hurts.
Oof, I'm not 35 yet. So don't.
I'm not 35 anymore.
Oh man, 30s, man. Thriving 30s, call it thriving 30s. I call it.
I'm more proud of myself than not, because I think all of that experience really led to where I am today. The Astoria Filmmakers Club, God bless it. It's something very unique, very, 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 very taboo, the first of its kind. I'm sure some people have done it, but it just seems like it was in the right place at the right time where a lot of people have really contributed and gotten involved, and just love the idea because they've been in the business to a point where it's just not working for them anymore, doing things that way. They're kind of they lost a lot of creative freedom.
And with this, you have a lot of creative freedom.
it's unanimously creative and free because it's very open, collaborative between other members of the club. You know, like we listen to each other, and that's the type of feedback you want, not critics necessarily.
Yep.
Like really getting an honest critique on what they would have done had they been in the position that they're in. And it's not like an adjudication where we're nitpicking half the time. Usually it's coming from a place of experience where they had to overcome something.
Yep.
Like that's the type of feedback I definitely want to give, especially to an actor. And the one thing that I really like about this that we really haven't flushed out yet is that, you know, how like a lot of investors really get involved with a project, you know, just to kind of give you an example. So with the Astoria Filmmakers Club being a nonprofit, the viewer, like anywhere on the planet, they actually have a say in the type of movies that they actually really this time they want to see those types of movies. It's not so much from the return on investment point of view. It's more of like a vaudeville donation where if this is the kind of movie you want to see, we are going to make it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more creative control in the public now.
That's great.
So that's what I meant before. Like, it's just something just like unique. It's something a little, it's taboo.
That's why it's going to go places. I can see it already.
Hopefully during my lifetime, we'll see.
You just got to speak it into existence, man. Manifestation.
Well, anybody listening to the podcast, can I get a hell yeah? Thank you very much. And that's why it's going to work. Did you ever watch wrestling growing up?
Yeah, I had it.
Yeah. All right, who was your boy? Don't say The Rock.
Come on.
We're getting along so well.
Come on. What do you think?
Booker T.
Nah, The Rock.
Damn it. I knew you were going to say that. Fuck.
Come on, man. I love The Rock.
I was Stone Cold. Dude, I was Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I didn't have nothing against The Rock. He was just a part of the Nation of Domination for a minute. He was Rocky Maivia for another, and then he becomes The Rock, the people's champion. I'm digging it. I'm feeling the vibe. But he could not beat Mick Foley fair and square. I'm sorry. No chance. Wasn't happening.
Yeah. The Rock. His career is interesting. Very interesting. Have you seen his show?
About the actor about him coming up as a football player, and then no, I haven't seen it. Like I saw the previews.
PC.
Oh, it's on cable network.
Pretty funny.
I haven't I don't have cable TV. I just got streaming.
I don't either. I saw it on what was I watching it on actually?
Hulu maybe.
Yeah.
I haven't had Hulu since my wife left me.
Oh man.
Yeah. It's hard being an actor, and it's that's the one thing I kind of regretted, just not being able to provide and just make her feel safe enough where long term you're safe, especially financially, and acting, it's either feast or famine, but it's always famine. And I don't know, sometimes there's a 7-year drought.
Yeah. Well, hey man, things happen for a reason. Patience.
I agree. Patience prevails. It does.
It says all in good time. And that I look at it and I live by that, all in good time, things will happen. And I got this tattoo because of a situation where when I was working in the union, like I said, I was in Goshen and I would travel back and forth. And in the beginning, of my apprenticeship, you were supposed to get a certain amount of pay. And my first check, they gave me like a journeyman's rate, which was 60, I think it was 60 something bucks an hour. No. It was it was $42 an hour.
Yeah. 6-7 is when you're doing time and a half.
Yeah. And I was I looked at my check and I was like, wait, I thought I was only supposed to be making this amount, you know what I mean? And I was like, all right, maybe they really like me. I don't know. So a few weeks go by, I get paid every week. And then after a while, I was just I should ask somebody, why am I I just felt a little guilty. I don't know why. I had something was Devon, this isn't right. So I said something to one of the guys, and they were like, "Oh wow, like you probably should, tell your foreman and probably get that fixed, because if you don't get that fixed now and you continue getting that pay throughout the year, and then they find out, like you could get in trouble for that." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "They made the mistake though." Like, and
That
they're
sounds
like,
like bullshit, but I'm gonna let you finish the story.
"Oh, it's total bullshit, total bullshit." But because I have a good heart. I went to my union, rep, and I told him, and he was like, "Honestly, I'm glad that you did this, because like this, you're not supposed to be getting that pay, and like they made a mistake, and like you're supposed to, it's like an honor. You're supposed to say something. If you don't say anything and like you continue getting that pay, you're practically stealing from the company." So I was like, "All right." They're like, "Well, you have to pay back the money that you got from us." And I was like, "What?"
Oh,
"We're just going to dock it out of your paychecks every week." And I was like, and I really had no choice. And at this point, I was driving back and forth from, Goshen to Manhattan. So I was just in a very hurt position, because, that's my gas money. That's like, that's my, my bills and stuff. And like, I was hurting for a while. And my foreman just kept saying, "All in good time. All in good time. Things will happen. Just be patient, be patient, be patient." Like he was just like, "I know this. I know at the moment you're hurting, and like you're having a hard time paying for things, and you're in this position where you're depressed and everything, but just all in good time, man." And like, I listened to him, and after a while, like, I paid it back, and then I started getting my regular pay, and then I moved into Brooklyn, and then things started going good. And then like I really like, it hit me when like one day I was just like, I'm gonna get that tatted on my body. And I was like, that's like
you're all in good timer. Oh,
all
sure.
in good,
All in good time.
all in good time. So yeah.
I had a similar situation in construction, but that is definitely a story I cannot have on the air. Anyway.
Yeah.
We usually I didn't want to wrap it up too soon. I did want to give you like, an open platform to talk, but when you said all in good time, usually how we usually end the show, or when we're getting ready to wrap things up, we try to like to include something known as the right words at the right time. And we started doing this, and I reincorporated because when I first started out, I was reading a whole book of the right words at the right time. And that was just something, to just sort of like look forward to and be open to the right words at the right time for myself. And, just take it for what it is at a point where these celebrities, these politicians, these athletes, they did not have what they currently had that day. They did have to go through the process similar to us. So it was a great book. I highly recommend it. The Right Words at the Right Time by Marcy Hopkins. It was Thompson at the sign, but it's a wonderful collective of story. Okay. My curiosity is if, for the people listening, has there ever been like like what you just described, just the right words at the right time that literally have always stuck with you, that have just carried you through the worst of the worst? And if not, do you have any words that you want to give to others?
You literally, what I just said to you, like all in good time. That's really just, I mean, even with my accident, like that really helped me, like, because that was before my accident. So after that, like, I learned that patience is a virtue. Pain is inevitable. Like for a person who like was told like I could not feel anything from my waist down. And once I started getting pain, that meant a good thing. You know what I mean? Sometimes in life, you may have to go through pain that's good. And you may think it's like not good at the moment, but like, you have to hit rock bottom to get back to the top. And those words of all good time was literally tatted on my body and in my brain. You know what I mean? And like, I utilize that every day. And, and you don't want to go through things by yourself either. Like, it's great to have by your side and have a good support system. Because, I had a great support system. I didn't do it all by my side, and like all by myself. Like, it's just, it would not have been possible, So I just want everyone who's listening is like, if you're going through stuff, like, you're not the only one going through it. And like, just talk to someone, ask someone for help. It's always good to have help. Like, people are very, strong with their, what do you call that? They're very prideful. They don't want to, they feel that they're dimming down who they are if they need to ask for help. But no, like, the strongest person in the world still needs help with something, like, so yeah, all in good time and patience. Can't do anything without patience.
All in good time. Yeah, I'm really glad you told that story before I asked, but I think somebody out there definitely needed to hear that just to kind of keep the hope alive.
Yeah.
Were there any aspirations that you wanted to do, like maybe to just like put it all together, like all these experiences to kind of like move you forward to achieve your ultimate goal? And, like whether working as an engineer is not for nothing, working as a chef is not for nothing. Is there any type of project you would ever want to do that kind of like incorporates all of your skills into like a role of a lifetime?
Honestly, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. But when I do, I'll let you know.
Oh, I'm sure we're going to hear about it if we're not contributing to it.
Yeah, exactly. I really don't know, honestly. There's just like, I want to contribute it all together, but like, I don't know, man. That's a hard question.
Well, what's your next step? What do you want?
My next step is just to really get my acting career going. I want to start putting myself out there so I can start, having my name out there. So like right now I just started working for, not working, but I'm doing some community service for a company that, does like helps kids with create LLCs, and it's good for artists and stuff. And I just want to put back to the community. I really want to be able to like start, like, I don't know, being someone in the community that people could look up to, and everything that I've done is still like not enough. And, I'm still working on myself. I'm still working on, my career. Like, I don't know, like this engineering job is great, but it's not forever. Like, I know that like my modeling and my acting career, that is like this is the foundation. Like right now, I'm like, this year, it's only going up from here. And one day I would love to possibly direct my own film, and utilize all my skills and, create something that the world's never seen before.
If that were to actually become something, what would you call it?
What would I call it?
That was a spur of the moment question. I don't think I've asked a question like that before.
All right. Out of nothing.
Huh?
Something out of nothing.
Something out of nothing.
Just, I don't know, it popped up in my head.
Something out of nothing.
Something.
Honestly, like, there's nothing wrong with that. Call it something out of nothing, because there's no way that exists. I'm going to look. IMDb check. Hold on.
And if it does, then that's going to blow my mind.
Something out of nothing. Everybody says it to themselves somewhere along the way, but all right, let's see. Something about Mary. That ain't it. Something out there. Oh no, 2019. They got it.
No.
And it was recent. Something out of nothing follows a group at-risk teenagers as they learn to about improv comedy. Oh wait, that doesn't count. Hold on, it's a 1 hour special. Fuck that.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no,
That doesn't-
no, that doesn't count. Totally. Wait, that's something different. Something out of nothing. No, this
Yeah.
is something out of nothing. The movie.
The movie.
Yeah.
All right.
Yo, Devon, this was an absolute treat, man. What a surprise. I had no idea it was gonna come full circle like this. I had no idea, like, dude, how much we had in common. Yo, like that's from the same neighborhood, like born, raised, path, back injury. I do. I hope we work together because it seems like we got there's a bit of a bond here.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope we do, man. I definitely, I'm open to it. So, as you can see already, I'm, my hands are open for anything, as long as it makes me happy and I can help other people, I'm totally down.
We're working on a firefighter pilot if you want to jump on.
There you go.
Facts.
I'm with it.
It's an FDNY story, so it's, it brings it back home.
Yeah, I actually recently was in it's called, I got a background gig for this show called Catamount, and it's going to be on Apple TV. And I was supposed to be a firefighter, but then they changed it to an EMT. But it was cool. I got to be an EMT for a day and run around acting like I needed to save somebody. So it was cool.
Get it, bro. Let's go.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to follow you on social media, is there any accounts, websites where they could hit you?
My Instagram is _8 SQUILLACE 8_.
Definitely going to have to tag you, get this out there. For all of you out there listening, don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay tuned. Hit this guy up. If his story was inspirational at all, give him a shout out because he might be going through, maybe having a tough morning, but he just needs to be reminded that it's all in good time. And you gave him the right words at the right time.
Yes,
and
sir.
You don't mind people hitting you up once in a while, commenting?
No, not at all. Not at all. Hit me up. I'm always welcome to. I love talking to people and their experiences and with the firefighter, I put it on my Instagram and I've had so many people, hit me up and be like, just made friends just from that. And they were like, wow, I'm just so happy that you're here. And you're a blessing. And I've just had some random people just show love to me more than people I've had in my life, my whole life. So it's interesting,
Well, it's very rare we get to actually see a grit or even hear about a really phenomenal survivor story, dude.
Yeah. So I'm just I'm proud that I am here and I'm blessed and I'm happy to, talk to anybody that wants to talk to me. And yeah.
You're not done yet, man. God's got a plan. God's got a plan for you, man.
Oh, he definitely does. And I'm hands open. I'm bring it on,
Hearts receiving because you're believing.
Exactly.
Just real quick, did you go to CFF as well?
No.
All right. I thought you almost did. It's damn. All right. You went to a different church. No worries. Yeah. All right, Devon. I want to wish you the absolute best evening. I'm going to hit you up and get you more information about the FDNY series.
All right.
Everybody out there, thank you for tuning in. And one more thing is to always remember to absolutely never forget community, creativity, and joy. Take that wherever you go. God bless everybody.
Blessed.
Ciao for now.
Yeah.